Hello, I'm still drunk. Today, I'm going to be reading to you from the book of special effects. Basically, I've had this book for ages, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to read from this book various bits, some of which I might find interesting. The whole book is interesting, but the rest of it is boring. I'm going to read that to you, okay? And hopefully, you will learn a bit about special effects. Number 1. Special effects animation. Although creating the illusion of life with a few strokes of a pencil could be considered a special effect in itself, because it could. Traditional 2D animators distinguish between character animation and special effects animation. Full stop. I agree with the use of the full stop there. It signifies the end of a sentence. I don't know what it meant, but okay. Anything that moves that isn't a character is usually animated by the effects department. This can include rain, snow, water, falling leaves, fire, smoke, I read that as monkeys, shadows, anything that brings the scene to life. So essentially, the animator's job is to animate anything that is rain, snow, water, leaves, fire, shadows, or smoking monkeys. Smoking monkeys, I believe, is a particularly important part of any animated film. Particularly Shrek. I remember that scene very well. Next bit. Performance capture. This is all at random. I have no fucking idea what the fuck this is. Since the earliest days of motion picture photography and animation, artists have sought ways to capture and reproduce naturalistic character motion. Preaches the fucking choir, man. Every single day, I sought a way to capture and reproduce naturalistic character motion. It's just my thing. Just character motion is so hard, and I have such a hard time capturing said motion in my own body. Anyway, initial plans for creating the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, 1993, in case you didn't know, involved a combination of full-scale robotic dinosaurs and traditional stop-motion puppets animated by Phil Tippett, which I think is a fantastic name. Not least for the fact that Tippett sounds like a thing. I tip it, Phil Tippett, Phil tips it, he has a sentence in his name. That's cool. Tippett's hand-animated dinosaurs were to be digitally composited into real landscapes by Industrial Light and Magic, which is a thing. Google it. Who planned to give them added realism by applying digital motion blur 239 and a little thing that looks like that to their movements. Now you see, digital motion blur, I know those words, I know what they mean, but together I get the impression that they mean a different thing. Message me if you think the same thing. So basically, this guy, Phil I tip shit, he applies blur to things that he made to make the things he made seem like they're real. When I want to make shit I've made feel real, I don't apply blur. If I do that, shit looks like... And that shit does not look real. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Okay. Alright. Rick Baker. Let's talk about Rick Baker. I feel like not enough people talk about him. Not enough people know who he is. I didn't know who he was until just now. Rick Baker's fascination with makeup emerged when, as a child, he would give himself hideous wounds and dress up as monsters. You see, this is a thing I can relate to instantly. When I was a kid, I used to pretend that I was ill. And I used to get whatever vegetables I could find, mainly because they were the most disgusting thing I could think of. And I would apply them to my person and feign illness, which worked up until such time as I applied lettuce to my body, and my mum realised that I had applied lettuce to my body, and that I was no longer ill with leprosy. The eyes, it is said, are the windows to the soul, something with which I agree. Next thing, physical effects. Bombs create a powerful blast with bright flash and a quantity of white smoke. That's just a sentence I found. I don't know what it means. It might be talking about bombs. Bombs might be a metaphor. Is bombs a metaphor? If bombs are a metaphor, please write in. If bombs are a metaphor, what are the metaphors for? What are the metas for? These are the things I try to answer, except they're not.